All right, so I just wanted to record this practice challenge that I'm doing with Scrimba, and I want to do it with my site. And basically, the challenge is to make the navbar indicate the currently active state. So the way we're going to do this is basically by using this link from the React Router DOM. And instead of link, we're going to use navlink. And some things are going to break here. So I guess first and foremost, we have the same name over here with styled components. So I'm going to go ahead and just put an S. We'll just put an S for now. Maybe I'll have to think of a better name later. But now what's going to happen is if we refresh right here, we're styling the link. And instead, we want to go ahead and style the nav link. So hit refresh and now we're back. But what we'll notice is that it still doesn't work. And what we'll have to do now is we'll have to apply these active styles. So we're going to say the color is going to be black, the text decoration is going to be underlined, and the font weight is going to be 500. And we basically want this to happen when we go ahead and style. And what's going to happen here is navlink actually returns a function. And in this function, we can destructure a value called isActive. And isActive is basically going to check if the nav link that we are currently on matches the URL that the site is on. So when we click our link and we go to /about, that means that this route of /about is active. And this just gives the user a way to know where on the website they're at. Because currently, if I just click on about, I mean, a lot of sites have this where you just kind of know where you're at, but I guess it just gives the user a better indication of where they're at on the site. So we'll go ahead and open the function and we'll say isActive. If that's true, then we want to use our active styles. Otherwise, just return null. And as we see, now our about is actually underlined. And if we go, let's say home, it won't happen for Habor because I didn't put it on that. But if we go to shop, it also won't work. And that's because we didn't move down our styles. So we can do that. And now if we go to shop, it'll be underlined. Host will be underlined. About will be underlined. Login currently doesn't have a page for that. And I don't know that I'll do that for my cart. And I don't think my cart is on here anyways. Let's see. Is this my cart? Open, login. I don't think so. So something else I want to go ahead and test is I want to collapse this. And I want to go ahead and click in. And it actually also does work on mobile. So it'll tell us which link we're on inside of the mobile view. So that's really cool. Something else I want to go ahead and do is, I'm not sure if VanLife has this feature. Let's go ahead and run it real quick and see if it does. But okay, it does. So when we hover over these links, they also have a hover state as well. So to make this work, we're going to use styled components. We're going to say and hover. So and hover. We are going to say the text decoration is underlined. We're going to say the font weight is 500. And I don't know why I'm getting that error. Okay. And then that should work perfectly actually. So now when we hover over these links, I guess the login isn't working right now. But when we hover over our nav links, they go ahead and they show us that little hover effect. And then we switch into that link. So let me inspect, go into mobile view. And let's see. Okay. So it doesn't necessarily work that well in mobile just because there's not really a such thing as a hover when working with mobile. this one right here is a little trippy because it takes us to slash login. Okay, I'll have to check that out later. But I think that's pretty much the first part of the challenge. Something that I am noticing is that my dashboard's acting a little bit weird or wonky, but I'll probably pause and then we'll come back and try to fix that. So I just wanted to go ahead and update, and the reason why this login state isn't changing is because this login state actually exists here inside of my hamburger menu. But when I go out, the way my navigation works is that it'll be null, meaning that it won't be here. But if we go ahead and say login, it'll go ahead and show up right there. So meaning these two things are in two separate components. So we're going to fix that real quick. So we are going to go ahead and import navlink from React Router. And we are going to go down here. This is our right nav. Let's see, maybe this isn't the right component. I think that's in our navigation component. So let's go to our nav. And then we're using link, so let's just use navlink, and then we'll have to update this to navlink and navlink, and then we'll go ahead and do our hover state here. So we'll say hover text decoration underline font weight 500. That should be working now. Okay, we have to go down here and probably do something. So let's go back. Styled navlink. Let's say styled navlink. I think that's what was going on there. Refresh. Should be working now. If we click, we won't go anywhere. But here we can just import some of our styles. This is kind of repeating myself, not very dry, but since they're separate, they'll kind of have to just be separate. So now I can grab my style, and remember I won't be adding that to my cart, which is right over here. So we can go ahead and say boom. And one thing I might do here is go to my pages. Oh, I'll go to my pages here, and I'll just add a login page. So we'll say login.jsx, and we'll make it very simple for now. So we'll say import React from React, and then we'll say function login. And then we'll go ahead and export default or login. And we'll just return something very simple here. And we'll just say login. And now to make this work, go to our main. And then we will have to make a path called login and import the element. So import login. I might have to bring that back for this to work. So we'll bring in login, import login. So now when we go to the path of login, we are going to load up the element login. So when we go here, we'll have our login, and then that will keep its state active. Abor won't have anything, but now all of our links are working correctly. And even in mobile, it should be working correctly. So let me fix that real quick. So if we go to my right navigation, we'll have to make sure this goes to /login instead. So let's refresh here, go back to the home directory, and let's say login. So now we are in the login route. So what's funny, oh, it actually does keep the active state here from mobile to desktop. So that's really good. I'm gonna work on this dashboard next because I'm having a weird bug right here. So I'll pause and I'll be back. All right, so I just want to continue real quick, and we already finished this challenge. So this challenge part 2 was make the host nav bar indicate the currently active route, and then use these current CSS rules. And then he'd recommend using an inline style this time. And there's going to be a small bug that we'll fix after we do the challenge. So the way I did this was I went ahead and I did my style, threw in is active, which is an object property that we get from navlink over here, And then I went ahead and dropped in my style, and it has a property of is active inside of this function. And if it is active is true, we'll go ahead and we'll run our active styles. Otherwise we return null. And the bug that we're currently getting is that dashboard here doesn't change no matter what. So even when we go to income, products, and reviews, it'll stay there. And I think the reason why this is happening is because it's always active, technically, because we're always at the /host route. So when we go to income, we're still at /host. So technically it is still active. So that's what I'm thinking the issue is. Didn't go over the bug, but I will update when we do. All right, so went ahead and went over the solution, and the solution is basically to just use this end keyword. So what this basically does is that it tells the route to end here. So let's go ahead and apply it to my project real quick. So in our host layout, when we go, we see that dashboard is always being, hovered over. And the reason why is because the is active is starting from this route right here. So the first route is our very first slash, and that's the home route. So that's the first slash right here. And that's how we know to render our header and our footer. But then we go to host. And this host route right here is loading up our host layout with the shared UI of this this navigation system. And basically this is always going to match. So the way we can go ahead and fix this is if we go here to let's go to host layout, and is active. Remember, is active is always going to be true because /host is always going to be here. But /host/income will go ahead and activate this. So if we go ahead and say end, we'll see that it will end the search here. So anything that is /host, it will go ahead and end it unless we are on the page itself. So now /host/income will end this styles, this active styles will end here at the /host, and it'll apply to /host/income, /host/products, and /host/reviews. And of course, we still have access to our dashboard. So I think that's pretty much it. I just wanted to go ahead and review this, and it seems to be working pretty well.